Here today with ATD, talking about how we can build coaching cultures as our teams and our businesses grow. There are a number of benefits to having a coaching culture. Empowering people to figure out the answers for themselves is like the key to creating more efficiency for your team. And so when we talk about creating a coaching culture, it also is about driving more results for your team. This also looks at on-the-job experiences as a real learning opportunity. It's not just I have to go to the training or we have to have the offsite. It's in every day of my work, I'm getting the opportunity for my own learning and development. The environment where employees are expected to solve their own problems. They know how to prioritize and organize their work accordingly. And then they're continuing to learn and grow and more effective, better results. How do we bake trust and respect within an organization? If you feel like you can't say no, often there's not that respect and trust there. When you recognize for yourself that that trust isn't there, that's a moment to stop and think like, how can I break that cycle and how can we build that trust within the team? We want to reimagine respect. And so make that a part of your training and communications, respect just being embedded. And then you want to emphasize coaching conversations. You also want to learn to say no. I personally am always working on this. And then foster ongoing growth and development. So having that be, again, a part of the fabric of the culture. As organizations become larger and more complex, team members begin feeling overwhelmed and stretched too thin on many projects. When your team doesn't understand the purpose behind all the requests, it's very difficult for them to stay connected with you. So if there aren't goals for your team, that's another place to get started is why don't we have some? What are the goals so I know what the priorities are? You want to have the courage to focus and say no to certain opportunities. And this also helps your team prioritize. You can coach your team on prioritizing their own work by asking them, if you're saying yes to this, what do you need to say no to? I want you to think of when you're faced with a challenge, ask yourself these self-coaching questions. What do I really want? What was the real challenge in the situation for me? What biases, assumptions, conclusions, what was I drawing? And what would I like to try? Who or what can help? What course of action will I pursue? So even beginning that coaching conversation with yourself when you have situations can be really powerful. When you're thinking about creating a strong coaching culture within your team, you want one where people are expected to solve their own problems. What's one thing you're going to do differently as a result of our conversation? We shared lots of ideas, both from me, but also from your peers. What are you walking away with? Thank you for the engagement, the conversation. You're left with homework and action items to write down. I love a homework assignment.